Hey YouTube, JP Dillon. This is going to be part 4 of the Emerson EC133. And the good news is that we finally got the color problem under control. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment with the help of many techs here. But first of all, I obviously wanted to show you what it looks like now that it's actually working. Let's go ahead and turn on the generator. And let's get the brightness up a little. And the contrast. And let's see. So we're going to turn auto color off, and as you can see now, we have color, and we have color shift, and we have the proper frequency response. I've got to decauss this thing because it's all magnetized from moving it around, but there it is. And if we go to a full rainbow, isn't that cool? And we can see it shift. And we have color intensity, and we have good contrast, and we have good video response. So it's working now. I'll show you what I found. Alright, so looking at the schematic, we have our giant video processor IC up here. And I was getting good DC voltages for the most part, so I kind of just didn't think much about it. But then Tom mentioned that I should look at the blanking pulses coming from the feedback line of the flyback. And I came up here first of all to pin 24, and although I was getting about 2.1 volts there, scoping it out, the blinking pulses looked really crummy, almost non-existent. And so then what we do is we follow this back, and then we've got R736 to ground, which was alive, and we go back a little bit further. I also checked the vertical blinking pulses on pin 9 of that device, and the DC voltage was about 0.95, but again the pulses look crummy. Yet I didn't have a problem with blinking information at the top, nor did I have a vertical instability. So then we look at our 738 here, the 270K, which feeds, if we follow that line, which is a little bit of a mess here, but ultimately it goes to pin 11, which is a winding on the flyback, which is feedback and also feeds part of the CRT. So following this line, the pulses look good. I go down to the horizontal drive circuit here. It's coming right off of the collector. Very dangerous to measure that there, so thankfully I didn't kill anything. But coming up to this R738, the 270K there, on the low side of it is where it looked crummy. And pulling that out, because testing it in circuit, it looked like there was a resistance there, but that's not always trustworthy. So taking that out of circuit, it was open. Now resistors open for a reason. So after replacing that, I also traced back the line to this D602 here, which was a 5.1 volt Zener diode, which according to my ohm meter was about 230 ohms, so that's no good. That was explaining why there was no pulse information, is because the diode was almost shorted, which burned open the resistor and which cut off our blinking pulses, which is what they had told me to look for. They said look outside of the box, look at the blinking pulses, and sometimes you get tunnel vision and I get set on something and stupid things happen like this. So a big thanks to Tom, Joseph, and CJ for pointing me in the right direction. And listen to the people who know about this stuff, because you don't know everything, and sometimes it just is true that, well, you don't know everything. So listen to people who've done it before you. I may have been doing this for 20 years, but that's 20 years. Some people have been doing it 40 years. Some people have been doing it a whole hell of a lot longer. So thank you to those three and to others that helped me in the right direction. I believe also Radio TV Phono Nut said that there was something outside of the video IC. So again, to all that helped, thank you very much. So now we've got a working set, and we can kind of tweak and dial things in so that it looks really good. So let's do that next. Alright, so what we're doing is we're just kind of dialing things in. I've already got the grayscale pretty good on it. The flesh tones aren't quite right. They're pretty close. I also have a really crummy signal today, so it's hard to gauge. That looks okay. Also, the camera isn't going to show up very well because of all the exposure rates and stuff that screw with the color on the TV. But just getting the kind of flesh tones looking really good. Also, I need to touch up the vertical size a little bit because it's kind of cruddy. And I'm trying to look for a program that's using the 4x3 rather than the 16:9, because obviously the 16:9 is like really stretched. There we go, that works better. So let's see if we can tweak this a little bit. Yeah, I gotta put the camera down because that pot is buried, so hold on a second. Alright, so that's much better. Things are definitely fitting in there. I still need to degauss the set, but at least it's formatted right. You can see the purple spot there in the middle of the screen, but the reds are nice and bright. It's got good definition. The letterbox looks more like letterbox now. This thing has a pretty strong CRT on it. It's nice and bright. It doesn't bloom or diffuse too much. Pretty crisp now that it's working right. Blanky blanky. The DC restoration on this isn't that great though. It's kind of an entry level set, so I don't expect a whole lot from it. But man, what a difference. Come on. Yeah, this is much better. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit more. There we go. So that's, yeah, but then I have a little bit of vertical up top that isn't working right. Yeah, blanky blanky, hold on. Yeah, formatting wise, I think that's as good as it gets. There's no vertical centering control on this. Color looks good though, despite it keeping attempting to blank out. Come on. Stop blinking. Alright. So there you go, folks. It is finally fixed with some perseverance and some help from great people. So again, I thank you to all those that helped. This set will live on and produce a good picture for its owner. And thanks for watching the series. It was definitely a pain for me and a learning experience. I normally don't work on stuff this new, but there you go. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. More stuff to come soon.